Two sweet fragrances, both loud, both loved, but only one can rule your collection. One's a designer icon that dominated the club scene for years, the other, a Middle Eastern sleeper hit that just might outperform it in every way. Today we're putting Versace Eros and Rasasi Hawas head-to-head to find out which one deserves to be your go-to sweet beast. This isn't hype, it's expert-level insight from someone who's tested hundreds of fragrances. Let's dive in. 1. The DNA breakdown. What are we smelling? Let's start with what really matters, the DNA, the scent itself. Because if you're buying a fragrance just because it's hyped, you're doing yourself a disservice. These two scents may both be called sweet beasts, but they play in different lanes, and knowing the difference is what separates casual buyers from real frag heads. Versace Eros opens with a sharp, clean pop of mint and green apple. It's energetic, a little cold, but instantly sweetened by citrus and an early dose of vanilla tonka. Within minutes, that initial brightness fades into a thick, almost syrupy warmth. Vanilla and tonka bean dominate the heart and base, supported by ambroxan, cedarwood, and a touch of geranium. The whole thing comes together like minty bubblegum at first, then settles into this bold, sensual, vanilla-heavy trail that you either love or hate. No nuance, no softness, just power and projection. It's designed to be loud. Eros is the cologne equivalent of a gold chain and a tight shirt, and that's not a bad thing, as long as that's the vibe you're going for. Now let's talk about Rasasi Hawas. Hawas isn't trying to overpower you with tonka. It's aquatic, fruity, and sweet in a completely different way. The opening hits you with bergamot, apple, and a gorgeous plum note. That plum is key. It's juicy, slightly dark, and gives Hawas its unique signature. Then there's the aquatic accord. Watery, fresh, slightly soapy, but not in a detergent way. Cinnamon adds a touch of warmth in the heart, and the dry down is where things really get smooth. Musk, ambergris, and patchouli give it a soft, sensual base that still lasts for hours. So while Eros is straight sugar and swagger, Hawas is like fruit sorbet with musk and spice. It's fresher, smoother, and more balanced overall. If we're comparing in terms of scent profile, Eros equals gourmand sweetness, loud projection, vanilla overload. Hawas, aquatic fruity sweetness, modern charm, clean musk finish. Both sweet, but for totally different situations. Second, performance. Beast mode or buzzkill? If you've been in the fragrance game for a while, you already know this. Performance isn't what it used to be. Back in the day, Versace Eros was a true beast. You'd spray it on at 7 p.m. and you'd still smell it on your skin the next morning. It projected like crazy, filled up nightclubs, left a scent trail that could turn heads across the dance floor, but those days? Pretty much gone. Today's formulation, yes, even the EDP has noticeably less punch. You'll still get a decent 6 to 7 hours of longevity with 2 to 3 hours of projection, but it's not the powerhouse it once was. You need to overspray to get that same impact, which means running through the bottle faster. Not ideal at $70 plus. Now let's flip to Rasasi Hawas. This one is still holding strong, and honestly, it's one of the most impressive performers in its price range. Longevity, 8 to 10 hours on skin. Projection, 3 to 5 feet of solid sillage for the first 3 to 4 hours. Clothes, it sticks, like next day noticeable, and I've worn this in summer heat, and it not only holds up, it actually seems to perform better when your skin warms up. It doesn't go sour or overly synthetic. It just gets juicier, fruitier, and more addictive. In terms of value, Hawas absolutely dominates here. It's consistent, it's powerful, and you don't have to drench yourself in it to get noticed. If you're looking for something that just works every time, Hawas is the safer bet for performance. That said, if you still love the Eros DNA but miss the old projection, look into layering with ambroxan boosters or even a light vanilla musk spray underneath to bring out the base. 3. Compliment factor. Who gets you noticed? Let's be honest, we all want that reaction. That moment when someone leans in and says, "Wow, you smell amazing." So who's more likely to pull that off? Eros still gets love, no doubt. That sweet, bold, minty vanilla combo is designed to get attention. It's youthful, playful, and flirty. You'll mostly hear compliments when you wear it on a night out, at parties, or in social environments with younger crowds. It's very much a scent that works best when the lights are low and the music's loud. But here's the issue. It can be divisive. That synthetic sweetness, it's a love it or hate it thing. Some people find it intoxicating, others think it's overbearing. If you go heavy on the sprays or wear it in the wrong setting, you might end up getting noticed for the wrong reasons. Hawas, on the other hand, is smoother. It's fresher. The sweetness is there, but it's not in your face. It's fruity, aquatic, and slightly spicy in a way that's incredibly appealing to a wide range of people. You can wear this to the office and still get compliments. It's safe, but not boring. Fun, but still classy. And because it's less overused than Eros, you'll stand out a bit more. Let's be real, every guy has worn Eros at some point. Hawas still flies under the radar in a lot of circles. That gives you an edge. In real-world use, I've had more positive reactions from Hawas, especially in daytime or casual settings. Eros might win in very specific environments, but Hawas wins in almost every other one. 4. Versatility, Club King, or Daily Driver. This is one of the biggest deciding factors if you're only picking one. How many situations can I wear it in? Eros, let's be honest, is a specialist. It's made for colder weather, nighttime, and loud environments. Clubs, bars, parties, date nights. It fits right in. It wants to be smelled. And when used right, it delivers. But try to wear it to the office at 10 a.m. or on a hot summer afternoon running errands. That's where things fall apart. It becomes too much, too heavy, too synthetic. That minty opening turns medicinal in heat, and the vanilla base just feels thick and cloying when it's warm out. It demands cool air and loud rooms to do what it was built for. Hawas, though, it's the opposite. It's the Swiss Army knife of sweet fragrances. Want something to wear in the summer that still pulls compliments? Need a clean scent for work that's not boring? Something sexy for a casual date night? A low-key scent for brunch, errands, or gym bag rotation? It does all of it, seamlessly, and that makes it a no-brainer for guys who want fewer bottles but more mileage from each one. Pro tip, if you're layering Hawas, try adding a soft, vanilla-based body lotion underneath in cooler months. It brings out that amber musk dry down and makes it feel warmer and more intimate, like a cold weather version of itself. 5th scent profile, deep dive, the sweetness factor. Let's break down the sweetness itself because this is where the personalities of these two fragrances really come to life. Not all sweet is created equal, and in the fragrance world, how something smells sweet is often more important than how much. Starting with Versace Eros, this is a tonka-forward beast. That vanilla-tonka combination is what gives Eros its signature, warm, rich, syrupy sweetness. But it's not the natural, gourmand kind of sweetness you get from something like a boozy vanilla or a sweet tobacco. This is loud, synthetic, sugar-high sweet. The mint and apple in the opening give it a clean contrast for the first few minutes, but that fades fast. Once you hit the dry down, you're left with a bold, almost sticky base that clings to skin like cologne cotton candy. It's club ready, party approved. But if you're not into that specific synthetic vanilla vibe, Eros can quickly go from sexy to sickly. Also worth noting, that ambroxan in the base adds a salty, musky edge that tries to keep the vanilla from going completely overboard, but it doesn't always succeed. This is not a scent for subtlety, it's for making an entrance. Now let's flip the script with Rasasi Hawas. This is a fruit-driven sweetness. The plum note in the opening is one of the best uses of plum I've ever smelled in a fragrance under $50, real talk. Juicy, slightly tart, but never too dark. Then it blends with bergamot, apple, and watery notes to form this ultra-fresh, tropical candy vibe. But here's the magic. It never smells juvenile. That's because the cinnamon brings in a bit of spice early on, while the ambergris musk base softens the whole thing into this creamy, almost luxurious dry down. It's fresh, then spicy, then warm. It transitions, something Eros doesn't really do. Where Eros is linear, Hawas evolves. If you're into layered scents that keep changing throughout the day, Hawas offers more complexity. If you just want to blast a sweet scent and smell it all day without thinking, Eros might be more your style, but for scent quality alone, Hawas feels more refined, more wearable, and more modern. It's sweet, but it never tries too hard. 6. Seasonality, when should you wear each one? Fragrance isn't just about what you spray, it's when you spray it. You can have the best scent in the world, but if you wear it at the wrong time, it'll betray you. So let's talk seasonality. Versace Eros is a cold weather specialist. Fall and winter, this thing comes alive. That heavy sweetness blooms in cool air, becoming seductive instead of suffocating. The tonka and vanilla feel warm and comforting. You walk into a cold room and Eros announces you with authority. But in heat, it's a problem. That minty opening turns sharp, the vanilla gets cloying. You'll feel like you're wearing candy-flavored deodorant. It's not a scent built for sunlight or sweat. It's made for low-lit bars, lounges, and nightclubs. Rasasi Hawas, on the other hand, is made for heat. That aquatic, fruity opening thrives in warm weather. Spray it on during a summer day, and it radiates freshness with a sweet, tropical twist. The fruit notes feel cool and crisp. The musk and amber keep things grounded, but never heavy. But here's what gives it the edge. It still holds up in cooler temps. That cinnamon note warms it up just enough to make it fall appropriate. You could absolutely wear this in early winter, especially if you layer it with a vanilla or amber body spray underneath. In other words, Hawas is a true year-rounder. Eros, it's a one-season weapon. Hawas is your all-season warrior. 7. Bottle presentation and shelf appeal. This one's more about personal taste, but it still matters, especially if you're curating a collection. Let's start with Versace Eros. Say what you want about the juice inside. The bottle is iconic. Turquoise glass, gold medusa, sharp angles, weighty in the hand. It looks and feels like a designer fragrance. The branding is bold, flashy, unmistakably Versace. If you want your shelf to scream high-end energy, Eros delivers. But there's a flip side. That loud branding also screams mainstream. Eros is one of the most recognizable scents on the planet. It's not going to surprise anyone. If you're after exclusivity, the bottle alone might give you away. Now look at Rasasi Hawas. It's subtle, sleek, understated, clear bottle, brushed chrome top, gently curved glass. It looks premium, but in a quiet luxury kind of way. It doesn't try to mimic designer branding, it stands on its own. The cap clicks solidly, the atomizer sprays wide, and on the shelf, it gives off serious, clean, and modern vibes, like something you'd see in a minimalist hotel suite. If you care about how your bottles look and feel, both are solid, but they offer very different personalities. Eros is flashy and bold, Hawas is refined and grown. 8. Price and value for money. Let's get to what really matters for a lot of guys. What are you getting for your money? Here's the breakdown. Versace Eros typically retails between $70 to $90, depending on whether you grab the EDT, EDP, or Parfum. Even discounters don't go much lower these days. Rasasi Hawas. You'll find this consistently between $35 to $45, and it performs better than most $100 scents out there. So ask yourself, what are you paying for with Eros? The name? Sure. The bottle? Absolutely. The scent? Still decent. But the reformulations have dulled the beast it once was. Now ask what you get with Hawas, performance that beats most designer scents. A modern, crowd-pleasing, versatile DNA. A bottle that doesn't look cheap. A price that lets you buy 2 for the price of 1 designer bottle. If we're talking cost to performance ratio, Hawas is a top-tier pick. Not just in this battle, but in the entire under $50 game. You're getting more hours, more versatility, more wearability, and more compliments at half the price. And that's why, for value, Hawas walks away with the trophy. 9. Community feedback and hype versus reality. Let's talk reputation, because both of these scents have a lot of online buzz, but not all of it holds up under real-world use. Versace Eros is one of the most hyped designer fragrances of the last decade. It's the go-to recommendation for young guys who want compliments, clubbing confidence, or something to wear on a night out. You see it on every beginner list, every Reddit thread, every TikTok video. And while the hype was justified back when the scent first launched, the reality today is a little different. Reformulations have toned it down. It's still recognizable, still effective, but the magic isn't quite what it used to be. Some guys spray it now and say, "That's it?" Now, Rasasi Hawas doesn't have the same mainstream fame, but in the clone and fraghead community, it's respected. Why? Because it delivers. Because it hasn't been watered down. Because it still smells unique. And because for once the hype around it is actually true, plenty of guys say Hawas replaced Eros in their rotation completely. Same sweetness, better performance, more versatility, and they're not wrong. If you want a scent that lives up to the reputation and not just nostalgia, Hawas feels like the more trustworthy option in 2025. 10. The verdict. Which one should you choose? So, the question everyone came here for, which sweet beast should you actually buy? If you want something bold, nostalgic, and iconic, with that unmistakable club fragrance DNA, Eros still has a place. It's not what it once was, but it's still a recognizable classic. It shines in cold weather and nightlife settings. If that's your lane, go for it. But if you want versatility, modern appeal, stronger performance, better value, and a scent that actually adapts to real life, Rasasi Hawas is the smarter pickup. It's easier to wear, less played out, and delivers top-tier results for half the price. Real talk? If you're building a well-rounded budget collection, grab both. Use Hawas as your daytime go-to and Eros as your backup for loud nights out. Either way, you're getting a sweet, powerful fragrance that makes you stand out for all the right reasons. And if you're serious about smelling incredible without burning through your wallet, these two are hard to beat. Rasasi Hawas and Versace Eros both bring serious heat. Big projection, addictive sweetness, compliment-pulling DNA. But one gives you all that for nearly half the price. You'll find both linked in the description, available on Amazon from trusted sellers, ready to add straight to your lineup. Whether you want club-ready firepower or an everyday signature scent that smells like success, you're covered. They're low-risk, high-reward pickups, perfect for building a rotation that smells like a gentleman, without spending like one. If you're into discovering real fragrance value, the kind most guys overlook, stick around. You're in the right place.